Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Nate.
I'm going to cut you into 50 pieces and mail you to every state.
Okay, well, someone's been reading my last will and testament.
D.E.D. dead.
Yep, that's a line from this movie, unfortunately. Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who's usually not someone we would consider a horror fan. Look,
hey, the Why I Hate This Album guys are the unsuspecting victim this time, or we. I feel like we got it this time.
Good question. We'll figure that out as we review our spooktacular weekly episode, Spawn, the movie. Just right off the bat, Nate, Spawn, do you consider this a horror film?
I don't know. The jokes in this were they were horrific. So I'm going to almost go with a straight yes. The Halloween I feel like it was we got a message from Why I Hate This Album, and it was like we said trick or treat, and they said trick, and then this is what we got.
Yeah.
That's I think we lost this one. I feel like pretty handily.
The album's pretty rough. We're gonna talk about it. But yes, so as we do every year, our annual tradition. We have our Halloween Spooktacular episode, doing it jointly with the Why I Hate This Album podcast. So they're going to be reviewing the soundtrack to Spawn.
Oh, it is a lot of.
We're going to talk about the movie. It is a running theme that they tend to get. I mean, these soundtracks are always some element of new metal. This one, I think, substantially more techno.
I like how it's just always new metal.
There's some new metal in there, but this is substantially more techno in the Spawn soundtrack.
This and like some of the Blade movies where they were like, this was the progenitor, right?
Was it? It might have been. I mean,
well, yeah, because Blade was the next year. So this was it.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I don't know that I could. We'll get into it, whether this is a horror movie or it's certainly, I guess, supposed to be like a comic book movie, but not in the way you're thinking with MCU now. There's a lot to unpack with this. Cool costume. So that's right off the bat.
1 point.
Right off the bat, 1 point. I mean, that's costume. We're talking Halloween, and costumes are an important thing.
If you go as the John Leguizamo character, you win.
Oh yeah,
you win Halloween, but you also lose. So it's a double-edged sword.
Oh my god. Well, look, I want to get into a little bit of this. Let's just get into the debate question.
Hearken to me, you two-legged dogs. Drink the vision mead of knowledge. To learn what it is to live and die in honor. To be in battle slain and in death rewarded by the Valkyrie's embrace.
I need to just remove that drop.
Yeah. Oh, get a John Leguizamo drop in there instead from this film.
That could work a little bit better.
Which one do you go with? Do you go with the "I'm so happy I could kick puppies," or do you go with the skid marks quotes?
Skid marks are solid. I mean, There's a version. We're gonna get into it. There's a version of this movie that was more serious, and man, I don't know what that looks like. But look, let's talk about the album. So, of course, our friends at Why I Hate This Album are going to just go through the songs. I know they'll their episode has probably, I think, just released at the same time we're releasing ours, so you've got a whole bunch to listen to here. But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk through. And really, the big question is just who has it worse. And we have this every year, and I think we've usually come up on the upper hand. I mean, the movies have been a little rough, but sometimes the soundtracks are worse. I think Queen of the Damned is maybe the only one that I feel like maybe we didn't make out as well as they did.
I don't think they would think the same way, but yeah, sure.
Well, they can be wrong sometimes, but
American Werewolf in Paris, what a classic that was.
We just need to have like a scoreboard out here, who's winning.
Okay, so there's American Werewolf in Paris. Freddy's Dead. Remember how much Goo Goo Dolls was in the Freddy's Dead soundtrack? Oh
God, I forgot that.
Oh no, forgot about that. And then we had End of Days as well.
Yeah, I feel like did we suggest any of these besides maybe Queen of the Damned?
Yeah, I think Queen of the Damned was us, and then it was just like trying to come back from that.
Yeah, they kept trying to get back at us, and I don't think it ever.
This was a classic Sideshow Bob rake. Just keep picking moving. Although they might have got us this time. I think this time. I think they got past the rake. They got out of the rakes.
Or did they? I mean, let's talk about this album real quick. You start off with Trip Like I Do, the Filter and Crystal Method. No one listens to the original Crystal Method one. Like there's an original song that they did for Trip Like I Do.
That's me. I like that song. The original.
You're the only person. Everyone else listens to the Filter, the one with filter on.
No, I like my Crystal Method unfiltered. Thank you very much.
I'm mad at myself for setting you up for that.
Yes. Oh,
now
Busy Child, was that on that same album? I'm pretty sure. Let's get out.
It might have been. I don't know. I wasn't into the late 90s EDM scene like you were.
It was I think Jamiroquai was the gateway, then Prodigy, Crystal Method, and Chemical Brothers. Oh my God. Well, don't worry, Prodigy is represented well in this album.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, so Trip Like I Do, I mean, that's a banger of a song, and that's why it's the first song on this album, to make you to trick you into thinking this is a good album. You've got Marilyn Manson with Long Hard Road Out of Hell,
meh,
which is weirdly co-produced by Sneaker Pimps. Is that right? That can't be right.
That's right, Sneaker Pimps.
Well,
those are English electronic people.
I mean, besides that, you hate Manson and because he's a shithead, but the song's fine. I mean, you got to hear it twice in this film.
Yeah,
they really got their money out of the song on this movie.
You're like, look, this is an alley song. When people are in alleys, this is what this song is going to play.
Someone just went and Googled hell and was like, what all the songs that have hell?
Yeah.
There's
a lot.
And they're like, we can't pay for AC/DC, so let's get a little cheaper.
That's true. Or Meatloaf.
Is that the way they got? Like, if you look at I'm just going to just read off names though. Okay. Because for the next easy work, Kirk Hammett, Korn.
Kirk Hammett is the end in that one.
Well, but yeah, still. I mean, Kirk Hammett, Korn, Butthole Surfers, Metallica, Stabbing. Yep. Hold on, no, not Moby yet. Stabbing Westward, Tom Morello, Silverchair, Henry Rollins, Incubus. Right, all of these. I'm reading these names. You're like, oh, that's okay. So it's a little more of a rock album. I think that they had to get the remixes because they were cheaper. Because every one of those is like that artist and some EDM person spinning it. Like they're like, we can't afford Incubus, like any of the Incubus album, but if we could get the DJ Grey Boy mix of a song called Familiar,
it's like take the early lounge Incubus and then remix it with a DJ. And Incubus already had a DJ on their band, but they got a different one.
Mhm.
That's the best part about it. Oh, and Metallica got DJ Spooky on this one.
Yeah, to ruin For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Incredible. Mitch, this is like your least favorite cover of all time. I wanted you to just talk about. I wanted to bring that one up. What?
There's a lot of bad covers, but this
or-
may be the baddest of them. I don't understand what is happening. Why this song? Well,
This was the classic time when, these bands would put out these songs that were not on their albums, right? Probably because they didn't want them, but they got paid, right? So like, all right, if it's just on this, I'm okay. It was impossible to find some of these songs, right? I mean, like the Bushmouth mix.
It's still impossible to find these songs.
But like the Bushmouth mix from American Werewolf in Paris wasn't on their normal Razor Blade Suitcase album.
Sam Goody wasn't selling out of this record.
Exactly. So there was like no way to find these. Thank you, Napster. But but yeah, some of these were great. I mean, Stabbing Westward, I've talked about numerous times. Love Stabbing Westward, but who is Josh Wink?
Well, his artist name is just called Wink, and then his
I know, but
credit is
he's
Josh
a DJ.
Wink.
He's an American DJ, producer, remixer, whatever. But why is Stabbing Westward is just fine on its own? Like, why are we we're stabbing Winkward. We're stabbing Winkward.
Guaranteed, most of these bands likely. I can't imagine they were involved in it. Like this has to be like labels just selling all. Like we own the masters for these, let me sell the rights for them.
You're telling me? Well, hey, Silverchair made a song called Spawn.
Maybe.
The problem is it was already on one of their albums.
Why I hate this album definitely is going to research these. I'm curious to see what they find. Hopefully they are able to get an information. This may be so like below bullshit. Like, I don't know. I mean, but I gotta ask, you brought up Napster, Nate. Do you think Lars Ulrich, like when people were downloading Metallica songs, do you think that Lars was like looking at the list and is like, sue him, and then sees the one person that downloaded this remix, the DJ Spooky mix For Whom the Bell Tolls, like, we're gonna let them have that one. That one's fine. That's a freebie.
Lars Ulrich's one of the writers on the credits for that song. For the soundtrack. So
I don't
know.
Oh man, I don't know. Like, did he get it for like is it just because he wrote For Whom the Bell Tolls? And that's
yes,
like,
of course. Yes, of course.
But he's not involved in like coming up with the mix, right? Like,
no, of course not. That was all DJ Spooky. DJ Spooky did a lot of work on that song. None of it was good, but it was there. I got to talk about the one song that is incredible that I still like, that I've always liked as soon as it came out. Is One Man Army, the Prodigy, and Tom Morello. That is an actual banger. Is it played during a under a higher level road / train track, truck rocket launcher from a clown fight scene, just like The Dark Knight in this movie? Yes. Is it a great song? I would say good to great song. I actually do like that song. So that one and Trip Like I Do. I would say two legitimately solid songs that I would listen to while working out. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, though, oh boy. Soul Coughing. That's what we didn't even mention. Soul Coughing and Slayer. You forgot Slayer. Slayer's involved as well. So
did I?
This is so late 90s. So there's Marilyn Manson, and then there's just the band Manson. Mansun. And it's just, if you want to hear the most 90s two artists that were electronic put together of all time, you go to the limited edition bonus track. If you went to Sam Goody, you got to get this version instead. This Is Not a Dream, the UK mix, Morphine and Apollo 440. So there you go. That's literally as late 90s as it can possibly get. So who won? So the debate question is, who got it worse? So we just went through all that music.
Look,
music. Some of the music is in quotes. What do we think? Who came out worse here?
Well, okay. Well, let's just for some criteria. Are we saying who had the worst time having to sit through the experience, or
and this soundtrack this soundtrack is 62 minutes, so it's actually rivaling.
Yeah, they had it worse. In this case, I think they got tricked. They did.
They picked it. That's on them.
I know.
Do you have the drop for you played yourself? Because
no, I don't.
We need that.
You just played yourself.
It's fair because we don't want to bring in DJ Khaled on this because there's so many other great DJs.
Great scenes. This is rough. I'm excited to hear. I'm excited to hear their take on this album or this soundtrack because I don't know what behind the scenes stories are they going to unearth between stabbing Westward and Wink. I can't imagine.
Oh God. It's like, how did you find all of these like UK and American like producer DJ people to like ruin all these songs? Other than Tom Morello, he's still doing the same stuff now. Like 1997 to 2022, he's remixing other people's stuff in a positive way, just generally. Well, not always, but for the most part, it's a general positive.
Because like Spawn in this movie, he's trying to atone for the mistakes he made in the past.
Was that Audio Slave we're talking about?
Oh man, listen, you can let us know who you think. Look, listen to this episode. Listen to the Why I Hate This Album companion episode for
same day, baby. Same day coming out.
You let us know who you feel like had it worse because we're gonna get into this movie and. Woof. It is. It does.
There's so many. There's demon fart jokes. Multiple.
Spoiler alert. It does not age well. And as I recall it, I don't know that it aged well when it first came out. So we're gonna discuss it. Let us know who had it worse. You can let us know at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Of course, Texas Podcast Massacre at gmail.com. Leave us those 5-star reviews. I mean, if you're basing on the movie we're reviewing, don't do that. Just based on the fun and enjoyment of hearing us suffer through them. Oh my God. And then, we have some, right now, obviously Halloween's busy time. Right after Halloween, we're going to get back into, I think we have a couple 5-star listener requests coming up. We got a new a 5-star request to have your mom on a whole episode, Nate. So she's done. Sadly,
done.
Our guests are not always bound, but Nate, I think you can
some
strings that. But so do that. And of course, give us a call at 346-246-3143. We want to hear your voices. Let us know what you think about Spawn, the soundtrack, the movie.
Oh, if you got to watch Spawn for Halloween, I'm so sorry, but do it.
No, well,
do it.
I mean, we're going to find out what was worse, this or Halloween Ends. So,
oh my God, what a double feature for the end of your October.
God, this
incredible stuff. Incredible. Then go watch Barbarian and Pearl right after that.
Yeah. It's like you kind of it's like cleansing your palate. Or maybe do VHS 99 to cleanse your palate and then good movies. I don't know. I don't know why I felt the need to take a cheap shot there. But listen, let's get into this week's movie of the week, Spawn.
It's time.
Imagine a substance with the power to destroy humanity. Imagine a creature insane enough to use it. Imagine a hero on the verge of creation. From flesh to steel.
You must visualize your objective.
From blood to blade.
Don't get cocky. You have a lot more to learn.
From man to Spawn.
Peekaboo. I see you.
We have harvested the ultimate weapon. Makes the Ebola virus look like a skin rash.
Congratulations. I say destroy the cosmos, ask questions later.
Who are you?
This is just what they want. You're playing their game.
Then now play dirty.
it, curly bat.
Use your armor!
Now stay sharp. The night is young.
This summer, evil has a new enemy. Justice has a new weapon. And the world has a new hero. Spawn.
Oh boy. Spawn.
You said this movie didn't age well. I was thinking like, what? How badly did it age? And I was thinking like Gary Busey. Is that?
It's aged as good as Gary Busey.
This is the Gary Busey aged movie of all time.
Oof. I mean, so this movie, in a nutshell, is about a mercenary gets killed, sent to hell, and makes a deal. It's a classic, classic tale of a man who decides to lead Satan's armies for a chance to see his wife again.
Fiance.
Ooh, true. Fiance. They weren't married.
They did not get married.
Yeah.
Clear plot point, but did not matter at all in this movie.
Yeah.
At all.
No.
Nope.
It
mattered zero.
It didn't. Yeah. I mean, I think that covers really what this movie is about. Don't worry don't worry though. If you think you missed anything, they will explain it in detail to let you know what's going on at every time. I can't remember a movie where they have where the characters have just gone through and everything is given through dialogue. Right? There's every bit of this film is just giving you from clunky ass dialogue to just tell you what the story is.
Don't forget some of the worst CGI that's ever existed. Don't forget that.
To be fair, some is not bad. Some is age. Some of it's age. We'll get into it. You can 100% tell where they spent the money. Because some
Fair.
CGI looks real good and some CGI looks real bad. Nate,
Real
what can
bad.
you tell us about this one?
Yeah, Spawn came out in 1997. Look, this was the first African American led major comic, right? That came out. But right before that was Steel with Shaquille O'Neal. Same year. Next year was Blade. So it was, out of those three, it's probably number 2. So it's got that going for it. It's got that going for it. That's
got
company.
that going.
That's rough company. This came out in August 1997. So it's PG-13, based on a Todd McFarlane comic book, obviously famously Spawn. Did you know the comic book, Mitch?
No.
Because Todd McFarlane used to be a name. Like that was a big name.
He might still be. I'm not aware, but to be fair, I only really knew his name. I didn't know all of his works. Have you watched the HBO animated series? Because I never read the comics, or I think I tried to watch the series, but I never finished it or really got very.
Well, there was a sequel to this movie that was on HBO. That was a TV show, or that was an animated movie.
That was the sequel for it, or I thought it was just the animated series. I didn't think it was necessarily fully tied. I thought it was just okay.
It was Todd McFarlane's Spawn 2.
Oh, I did not.
I don't know if it was like a mini series show or what. It's 2.5 hours. It's basically like a season-ish, right? Of a 20-minute cartoon, right?
Okay.
But yeah, that is an 8.3 on IMDb with a little under 1,000 reviews.
Well, how shitty is that soundtrack? We could have done that one instead.
I don't think there's less of a soundtrack on this one, but Keith David does voice Spawn in that one. So if you want to watch somebody that actually got decent reviews on IMDb, unlike this one, which is a 5.2, then that's probably your best bet. Mm-hmm. The director of this film, Mark A.Z. DePay. There's an accent over it, so I'm going to go with DePay. You might remember him from, let me think. I don't know. I mean, he's directing the Marmaduke movie this year. That's Pete Davidson. What do you think about that?
I mean, sign me up.
Didn't see that one coming, did you? Nope. Did not see that, did you? We got Spawn. We got, I would say, semi-classic Disney movie Halloween Town High, which I believe is a sequel to Halloween Town.
I've never seen Halloween Town.
So there you go. Well, lucky you, because
I say that because I've seen a lot of things online about people, I guess, being all nostalgic about it. I saw a trailer or something about like a grandma who's a witch, and that's about as much as I got about.
It's actually that the town that it was filmed is actually 45 minutes north of here, in Portland. It's north of Portland. So there you go. You want to go catch that? He did Garfield Gets Real, Garfield's Fun Fest, and Garfield Pet Force in the late 2000s. So those are all movies. The Boxcar Children, classic old kids book series, made into a film. So that's what you'll see in the just purely directorial range. But you also might remember him as, I don't know, visual effects on The Hunt for October, The Abyss, or Jurassic Park. So that's where the guy started. I mean, look, he's doing computer graphics for Ghost, which means that I don't know how this movie was so bad for that. He was the visual effects producer on Darko, the terrible sequel. And the last time he was a visual effects supervisor was The Shallows, Blake Lively shark movie. So yeah, I think this dude is solid in the visual effects department, and that's about it. A little directing on the side, not the worst thing in the world. The lead of this film is Michael Jai White. He was in Dark Knight as one of the gangsters.
Yeah.
Right?
He's in the scene where
the pencil scene.
Well, not just the pencil scene. There's the with the cue stick, right, where Joker shows up. They bring it like they act like they've killed him.
Yeah, aggressive expansion.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's doing that. He was in. I have to mention this classic DMX Steven Seagal film, Exit Wounds.
You don't have to.
I do.
Have to.
He was
have
great
to
in that. That's what I think of instantly. Is that terrible that's what I think of instantly? He's in a lot of films, so this was a challenge to go through. So it's tough. He's in a movie coming up this year called Scream Before You Die with Ron Perlman. Okay, it's a thriller. Okay. He's in 2022's Dead Zone, not that Dead Zone, Tubi TV's Dead Zone. Are you excited about that?
Sure, Nate. I know next to nothing about it, so sure. Let's just.
You don't watch Tubi TV all the time? I have actually a lot of really good.
I started to for
low budget horror movies.
A number of the movies we've reviewed have been.
I know.
That was exclusive to Tubi, so sure.
Just Before Dawn, I believe, was on there. So if you want to see Just Before Dawn and then catch a Michael Jai White Tubi original, you're there. I think he got his start as Soldier in Jean-Claude Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren's Universal Soldier. Then it was in that later. He's been in a lot of stuff, basically. He's all over the place. Still doing stuff. He's doing Batman movie, animated Batman movie, voices. He's doing all kinds of stuff. John Leguizamo, who you will catch in a much better role in The Menu next month. So go see that after you watch this as the palate cleanser. Tie around joke there, Mitch. You might remember him from classic horror film Encanto. That's right. The House is Alive, makes you do things you don't want to do. Horror film. We need to get Lisa back for that one. He'll be in upcoming film Violent Night with David Harbour. So he's got back-to-back Menu in November, Violent Night in December. Are you actually excited for that one, Mitch?
I don't know anything about that one.
Violent Night. It's the one with David Harbour. It's Santa's Slave Part 2. He's Santa Claus, David Harbour, the cop from.
I know who. I mean, I understand the words you're saying. I've not seen a trailer, but just the fact that you just said Santa's Slave Part 2, I'm in.
Okay, all right, there you go. That's how well I know you. This is we need to be taboo partners.
Yeah, you're not telling me the things that you're not telling me in the words that are going to intrigue. Like you're telling me like, oh, he's directed this and this. It's like no, just tell me it's Santa's Slave Part 2. Oh yeah, no, I'm in. Say no more.
Yeah. So John Leguizamo, obviously, he was in some John Wicks. He was Luigi in Super Mario Brothers, which is almost a straight horror film. To me personally, the same year he was in Spawn, he was in The Pest. I mean, that is just two of the most obnoxious characters in the same year of all time. I mean, that's all time level of just very annoying characters. And I'm glad that he's pulled through to be in some actually good movies. He's in Kick-Ass 2. He's been a bunch of other stuff. You might also remembered Melinda Clarke, Jessica Priest, aka Julie Cooper from the OC. That's right, we got the OC in the house, Mitch, and you cannot stop it. Also, she was Julie Walker in Return of the Living Dead 3, which I know you like.
I love that movie.
There you go. So you're welcome. So OC,
someone give us a 5-star review so we move that one up.
I would do that one. I'm 100% down for that. She was also in Vampire Diaries, the TV series, Mitch.
Okay.
There you go. It's vampires. It's vampires. It's vampires. So it counts. That's about it. She was in the Tremors TV series.
Okay.
So does that count? I would say no. Yeah, that's about it. There's other people in this movie. I guess we should probably bring up, I mean, hamming it up so bad you should invite him to your house for Easter. Martin Sheen in this one. Martin Sheen would go from this movie to shortly after, a couple years later, being on West Wing. So I don't know. I got like a year and a half later is on West Wing. So I don't know. That's a comeback story for me personally.
It's something.
Right? I mean, because like Martin Sheen's not like at that point he's not like well-respected actor, right? Martin Sheen. I mean, he's a respected actor, but he was making some bad movies in the 90s, and then he got West Wing. That saved it. Spawn almost, yeah. Maybe Spawn had to happen for West Wing to happen, in which case I
think you're like, especially with some of these horror movies in the 90s, I think as long as you weren't the reason like the movie tanked, like you were fine. Like, he's a side
villain. He's got like, if he was the lead and it bombed, that would have been a different story, is what you're saying.
Right, exactly.
Interesting.
That's my thought. Because I mean, look,
fair.
I mean, yeah, we've seen some movies where it's just, awful, and people.
In this movie, Martin Sheen's evil like thin goatee beard has an evil thin goatee beard. Like it's that bad. It's real bad in this one. So yeah, there you go. I could go into more, but I'll mercifully cut this short to get your initial thoughts, Mitch. Great movie or the greatest movie? Go.
Ooh, let's see. If you'd asked me when I saw this in theaters as a kid, 98. So, I mean, I was 13, 14, somewhere in there, right? Maybe even a little younger. Oh my God. Like the movie, the character is cool on its own. This is one of those things where like the character design and the powers are really badass, right? Like you've got this big old billowy cape that can like turn into whatever. You got chains flying around. Your whole body is just a weapon, right? That's about it. That's about all it's got. There is so much John Leguizamo in this film.
Oh my God. And the dialogue that he got was
and Nate, I think there was a first cut of this that was a lot more serious and apparently character driven. And then they reshot a lot of it and added more like humor and big action scenes and stuff to make it, because they thought that's what people wanted to see. And so, I wonder, did they add a lot more John Leguizamo dialogue in this?
Yeah, the comic relief was not relief.
No, it's just too much.
And it was barely, and it was not really comedic either. So
right.
It was comedic relief without the comedy or the relief. It's not great.
Yeah, it was just too much of it. We didn't need that much John Leguizamo in this character cutting. Like, I mean, I guess he was just riffing. Like, surely no one actually wrote those lines for him. Maybe
there was definitely some riffing. There had to have been riffing.
There had to have been
riffing. If there wasn't riffing, God help us.
Like, there's a dark part of me that wishes like Robin Williams had done it instead. I think like
oh my God, that would have been incredible.
Zany.
All right. Well, all right. I'm fine. Here are the people that could have been Spawn.
Okay.
Wesley Snipes.
Well, no. Okay. To be fair, I want to make it clear. I'm not suggesting Robin Williams could have been Spawn.
Not Spawn. You're saying
no. As the
Will Smith.
Terrible. No.
You wouldn't like either of those. So Michael J. White may be a good choice there. What if Tim Burton directed this film? Oh, now that would have been intriguing.
So it would have been Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. Got it.
Well, in 1997, might not have been 100% locked in on that yet. Getting there, though. Getting there.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, granted, yeah, Tim Burton back then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe, but I don't know, man. This script doesn't do anyone like. I don't think anyone's was gonna take this script and just turn it into something great. I
guess he already did a comic book movie with Batman with the Batman stuff, so maybe taking it easy on that would have been fair. Plus, yeah, he would have done Sleepy Hollow instead. But if he would have done this instead of Planet of the Apes, I'd be okay with it. All right, what about if Edward Norton was the guy, the PR guy, who downloads the files onto this hilariously small CD?
That would have been weird. Edward Norton would have taken this movie so much more serious than he really should have.
Well, he ended up doing Rounders, so that worked out. Now, what if Michael J. White, instead of doing this movie, had done the Mortal Kombat sequel movie? Would that have been a good move?
Well, we all know how that turned out, so no. No, it was.
You're saying Spawn is still better than Mortal Kombat 2?
Than Mortal Kombat Annihilation, unequivocally.
Okay, and instead of directing this movie, Alex Proyas directed a little movie called Dark City instead of this, but he was originally slated to direct. So came from the Crow movie.
What I'm hearing
what went from the Crow to Spawn? What
I'm hearing is there were a lot of people who at some point were either attached to this or not, and they all, for various reasons, were like,
went on to do way better things.
I'm good.
It's some really good agents. What I'm saying is, some people have good agents, and it worked.
How many times is John Leguizamo going to fart in this movie? Yeah, I got some other commitments I need to take care of.
Now the budget of this was 40 to 45 million. Box office was 87.9, apparently including you. But the soundtrack is, I think, technically considered more successful because it debuted at number 7 on the Billboard 200. Was on the charts for 25 weeks and is certified gold.
What? No.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
So
for what? The two songs like this?
They're at least equally.
This is why.
They're at least equally.
This is exactly why Napster saved us. Because before Napster, you would have had to have bought this whole goddamn album for the 2 songs everyone wanted to listen to. Now you don't have to do that anymore. So younger folks who don't know what Napster is or really appreciate it, just be thankful that
LimeWire is LimeWire still around?
Probably.
Okay.
But I mean, because
it's probably a blockchain. God, LimeWire is probably
because
blockchain.
For the life of me, if you could download these singles and all that on its own, you would no one would have bought this album. I cannot believe a sane person went out and
it's all on Spotify. Every single song is available for some of these albums.
What are the
always the case.
What are the monthly streams for this?
I don't know. Number one song is Can't You Trip Like I Do. Number 2 is The Long Hard Road Out of Hell, and number 3 is One Man Army.
Nate, look at the plays though. Okay, plays for Can't Trip Like I Do, 11 million.
0.6,
right? 11.6. Next one's 10.75. The next one drops
1.
down
1.15.
1.1 million.
Look, if you get one thing in this episode, One Man Army,
largely around 500K or less.
One Man Army, classic song. Highly recommend. Okay, anyway, overall thoughts, Mitch, on this one.
I mean, did I not just give them? I mean, the suit's cool. I mean, there's some cool graphics. There's some other graphics that suck. We'll get into that one soon. But the movie. I mean, the movie itself is fine. It doesn't age well for a number of reasons. I think some of it is just that the story's not like anything groundbreaking. It's all done through exposition. Like everyone's just going to tell you exactly what's going on. So. It really is an origin story movie. And so there's never really like any sort of like real stakes with it. Which is not in itself a bad thing, but with a superhero movie at that, or a comic book movie, but I don't know. I feel like this had a lot of Spawn's such a cool like character and the suit and all that. I don't think they needed to spend a whole lot of time on like the backstory and this and more of it as an origin. I mean, I get why they did it. I don't know that they needed to.
I guess I would describe this movie like Clown described Win and Wanda, which like Spawn's fiance, who then Win is the bad guy, Martin Sheen, is gonna go after and apparently have his way with before murdering her. I don't know, whatever. He said Win and Wanda sitting in a tree, SUCKING. That's how I feel about this movie. Terrible. It was so bad. John Leguizamo is just grating. It's hard. It's a challenge. None of it's funny. It's all, he's like a demon person. He's he's incompetent, but like competent. He's mean. Nothing he says is funny at all.
Nate, he's a demon clown. What do you mean he's mean? Like what?
But it's like, it's just like none of it. There's none of the relief part of the comic part. No. It's just like this just sucks. I don't like it.
I think they added him way too much. Like, there's a one scene in the ballroom where he first shows up to attack Win and sort of say, "Hey, it's me. You screwed me over, and now I'm going to get my revenge." Right?
Yeah.
And then he kills.
Wait. What was he trying to do? What was the whole plot? What was he trying to do again?
Oh yeah.
You just said the whole. Hey, what is this character doing? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
They'll tell you exactly.
They'll tell you.
Multiple times. He kills the other assassin who was here for a solid 10 minutes of total screen time. And
yeah,
then John Leguizamo just shows up randomly to cut some jokes. Like they just add that in there for it's the dumbest thing. And it's to your point. It's so grating. Like this is not John Leguizamo's better work.
Wait, what do you mean? You don't like when he's looks like Spawn's ex-fiance when he says "you pansy bacon crisp"? You didn't like that?
No. Weirdly enough, if you watch this movie with the trailer or with the subtitles on Amazon or anything, you actually there's different. There's a different script, I guess. It's like the words are sometimes different than what's actually being said, which is very confusing.
Sounds right. Maybe they should. Yeah. Maybe the subtitles are like, can we change this?
This would maybe be a little bit better.
Burnt man walking. These are classic jokes. What is happening?
Now, Nate, did you see this movie I mean, you've seen this movie before.
Oh yeah. I just forgot how egregious.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I watched it like a bunch when I was 12. This movie was pretty cool, or whatever 12 to 14, right?
He's not the vindicator. He's not the victimizer or the vaporizer or the vibrator. He is the violator. I mean, what
now
is that line? So I don't understand what's happening.
So funnily enough, that one actually is because that character, there's like 4 other like major demon things, and they're all like the vapor, like that's who he is. He is actually like that's like the one time, and yeah, it's so weird. Like you would never, of all the I've joked and said they tell you everything. That's like the one thing they don't tell you. It's just like it's just like a throwaway weird line that he says, and maybe that's the problem, is that he says so much random shit that you're just kind of like, sure. Like there's no rationale for any of it.
I also don't like how they did Julie Cooper in this one, because she gets shot in the head, falls down a huge, some of the flimsiest high of guardrails I've ever seen, falls down into the ballroom where Martin Sheen was trying to make another UN with chemical weapons.
What is the
Oh, what is it? Oh, it's Heat 16. What do you mean?
Heat 16.
You want a MacGuffin named Heat 16 with all the details on like a really, really tiny CD?
Okay.
You got it. You got it in this movie.
Sorry. And I have to say this. Is the villain Dr. Claw from fucking Inspector Gadget? Like,
yeah, no, that's the voice. The voice is the same guy who did Claw. Absolutely.
Oh my! Well, it makes sense.
I didn't even look it up. It was so obvious. I'm not.
And I think New Line Cinema tapped him to do Shao Kahn at the end of the first Mortal Kombat movie, because he goes, "You weak, pathetic fools! I've come for your souls." Right? I mean, same sort of thing with this.
You should have been in it. If they reboot it, you could do it. That was quite good.
Give my agent a call.
That was quite good.
I mean, they're all like. They spent $20 on the Malbolgia CGI to make this demon not talk, not move its mouth.
Was it Malbolgia or Malbolgia?
Who gives a shit, Nate? It doesn't matter.
I was just thinking. Was I thinking it wrong? It doesn't matter. You're right. You're right. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I mean. They use that same clip of that stupid slack-jawed donkey demon every 5 minutes, and it's like they just like, I mean, it's the Tommy Wiseau school of filmmaking. Hey, we're only going to do this once, and then we're just going to use it like 50 times.
Accurate.
It's bad. What a terrible like demon plan or anything. You would have been better just like having just eyes floating in the background or something. Also, this is the stupidest fucking plan ever. We're gonna have a big old fight with angels and demons. So we're gonna get this like dude a suit, but he has to like still have free will and why? He's had his whole mortal life to have free will, and he's murdered a bunch of people. I think he's locked in. Like, I don't. What else do you need?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's real fucking dumb.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, I mean that's
man.
But that's where the CGI is bad, because to its credit, the CGI of him getting the suit and the cape looks pretty badass, and even the CGI of when he changes from like into the Violator. The Violator looks pretty sick, especially with that like scorpion spike out of the neck or whatever. It's like Todd McFarlane has some really cool character design, and I think they did a good job of really making that look really good. That's all they spend a lot of time working on to make look good in this movie.
That's true. Yeah. And then I
mean, you can see clearly the stunt double when they use like when he's in a CGI suit and then like he's on the motorcycle, and you can clearly see it's just a dude in like the cheapest like trash bag version of the thing.
Or Melinda Clark's like when she falls through the table, which they do a multiple replay on, which is hilariously bad. Yeah, clearly.
Like they just didn't go back and touch up those scenes. They're just like, no one will notice.
None of it.
And it looks it's so bad. Like you clearly just It was $40 million. What did they spend it on?
$40 million in 1997 is a lot.
Like
that's quite a bit.
I get you like doubled your money, but my God, yeah, you could have had massive profits if you just figured out what the fuck you were doing.
Well, the thing is, they spent some of the money on Frank Welker, who did the voice, who you might remember is the voice of Fred from Scooby-Doo. So, I mean, he's done literally everything in terms of voice work, like in the history of Earth, including being in Halloween Town High. Also, that's an overlap, by the way, Mitch. So you're welcome on that one. And he ended up being in Spawn, Armageddon, the video game as well. So there you go. See, they spent money there. They got the best. I mean, to be fair, one of the best voice actors of all time. So they did spend money on that. At least. There you go.
Sure. Did that make a difference for you, Nate? Is that what really turned?
Yeah, I mean, the voice was clear. The voice was clearly Claw from Inspector Gadget. So I was like, all right, I like that. That's good. They're playing a one-man army. Let's talk about this scene. So all these action scenes are basically worthless, especially the ones with John Leguizamo's clown / Violator character.
I don't know. The Violator was fine.
But the fights themselves, ugh, yuck.
I mean, it's big. I mean, big ass puppet. What are they gonna really do? They've blown their budget.
CGI is rough, but we're in 1997. You know,
I'm willing. That's what I mean. I'm willing to give them a little pass. That fight didn't age as well. Yeah, it's kind of a big bowl of nothing, but like compared to everything else, it was at least kind of cool with the
well, I don't know, when they were like kind of like playing hide and seek in those alleys, I was like, which was better, like this or the chase scene where Leprechaun is huge in Leprechaun 4 in space? And for a second I didn't know, and that's not a endorsement.
That's not a recipe for success. I agree with you.
It's not. But no, then there's the scene that I think Dark Knight basically stole. You're welcome. There's a clown shooting rockets from a big truck over to a character with a black, cool masked face riding a motorcycle thing with armor on it.
Go on.
Underneath elevated, I don't know if it's a road or a train track. Either way, it basically was Dark Knight. So you're welcome on that. Do you think Dark Knight stole from Spawn? That would be incredible if that was really the motivation. Kind of similar, to be honest. And that one did the hook on the cable to make it go vertical, which is awesome. This one just turned his body into spikes. In which case, why doesn't he just spikes the whole movie? Is there some sort of recharge that we don't know about? Like, I don't understand how. I mean, you could basically throw hooks like Spider-Man and go wherever you want at all times if you really wanted to. Clearly did in this movie at certain points, and has a cape that basically allows you to fly forever. That's huge. Nah, let's not do any of that. None of that would be helpful.
Well, no. So remember, there is a really pointless throwaway line where he says, "Don't use up your powers, because if you do, you'll die." And then we just all kind of just accept like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's great advice. And then don't ever question it. Like,
what's the recharge?
Yeah, this guy's the worst, like mentor, trainer, whatever.
Yeah, it's bad. Oh, don't worry. If you want a bad mentor trainer, let's just get a guy from 500 years ago named Cogliostro.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Like,
I'm sure it was great in the. I'm sure all this was great in the comics. So don't yell at me for that. In this movie,
yeah, we're just talking
terrible.
Like he just kind of. I mean, everyone just randomly just pops up in the most opportune times. It makes like at one point they're in the final battle scene at Wanda's house, and like, what's his that guy?
Hold on, try it.
No, I don't want to. I don't know. I don't have it in front.
Oh, you mean Cogliostro?
Is that really
Nicholas Cogliostro? Yes.
I'm not calling old man Nick. When old man Nick kind of shows up, like he's like in full like chainmail and like
regalia.
Oh my god, what? It's real fun.
Look, I take it this way. If you had the night guy from Indiana Jones or this guy, I mean, this guy's better. So
Is
got
he?
that going for you. Well, he didn't get overpowered instantaneously.
I'm about to say, I don't think either one of them.
I mean,
largely helping you out in any real tangible way.
Well, he helped him off the spikes, so he didn't die. Oh, I guess he wouldn't have died, but so he wasn't in pain. That was good. It was good.
It's just,
I don't know. It was bad. I'm trying to find the silver linings. I mean,
he was to be fair, I don't know. I mean, right now, I mean, who is the worst character in this movie? Because to me, it's that guy. It's Old Man Nick is maybe the worst character in this movie.
Yeah. The worst John Leguizamo was so bad. I can't get over it.
But John Leguizamo, at least his character
painful.
made sense. Like, it was terrible. I agree, but at least it sort of made sense what was going on with him. This guy was, I mean, just the worst. Like, he's like the narrator, but he's also like totally inserting himself in everything. But then he's also, I mean, he's not even giving good advice or help or anything. Like, at no point does he just like tell him, like, the first half of Spawn showing back up is him just going, is it like being fucking Dumbledore and just being like, oh, there's, you know, for those who always need help, this alley will provide if you need it. It's like, just tell him that, hey, by the way, bro, you're dead. Like,
there's a lot of alley work in this movie. There's a lot of alleys, right?
There's a lot of people saying it's his person. Spawn has to choose, but then everyone like jumps in and basically helps, like gives him some new information, and then Spawn changes his mind every like 5 minutes about what he's gonna do.
That's absolutely true.
Spawn, like if that's who we're hoping on, we're all screwed at some point. Like, he's just gonna just straight murder everyone.
Now, what do you think about Michael Jai White as an actor in this one?
I think he was fine.
I would say fine. I would say the character looks cool.
The character looks
possibilities
cool.
are super cool. The cape and the face CGI was good. Like, for the time, I would say, like, some of the hooks, the cape, the face, change stuff. There was some good stuff in there. So it's not all bad.
No.
That's the solid. I mean, you got the kid from Pet Sematary in there. He's an alley kid, but he's there. So there's that.
He's got his dog.
Yeah.
Maybe. The dog show back up? I can't remember. If the
dog was held hostage briefly. So it was a brief dog hostage situation. It worked out though.
Yeah.
Is the dog loyal.com? Yes, on this one. The dog was very loyal. Even after death, it was still like, I like Al. Oh yeah, his name's Al. Big Al. He's Al. I don't know. We didn't even say his name.
Big Al, Old Man Nick, and the
Malbolgia. And Clown. And Priest. Hey, we had a priest in Hellraiser. Now we got a priest in Spawn. There you go. It's all coming together. Same universe? Who knows?
I mean, can you just put into words what is wrong with this movie? I mean, because on the whole, the story itself's not the worst thing. I mean, all the demons going after heaven, all that shit, fine. It's boring, but okay. I'm okay with that. The whole story about him wanting to be with his wife is fine. I think it's just all just like thrown at you. Like, I don't think the story in itself is really all that bad. I think some of it's just really overacted. I think it's all just like told to you like you're, fucking 2 years old. And it's just a means to get you to like see this cool suit and like, some of the hell scenes. But man, hell looks real shitty. Like, that fight in hell looks terrible.
Oh, it was bad.
They should have just kept it in the streets.
Yeah. Keep it in the guy. It's not good when you're like, you know what? Keep it in the alley.
And I'm sorry.
Like, that's not great.
I'm sorry. Malbolgia is the devil. Has given him this suit. You would think that maybe if I give you a powerful suit, I have some way of like, taking it from you, or
is there a remote turn it
sort
off,
of
something.
Well, and even then, he's like 400 feet fucking tall, and he's just watching Spawn just like decimate his like army with like green magic power.
It's one of the dumbest things ever.
Like, at one point, does he just like
it was
smash him?
worse?
I just don't
It
understand.
was worse. Yeah, it was worse than like the ghosts in Lord of the Rings, just kind of like flowing through over everybody, killing like 8 jillion people. You know, it was just like that. It's like, this is just why? Why is this Why is this happening? I don't know. Great questions.
Real bad. I mean, maybe that's the. I think this movie. If you were okay, so I mean, we've buried the lead a little bit on this. I mean, this movie's been in the development for a sequel or a reboot for years. I think Jamie Foxx
Jamie Foxx was supposed to be in a sequel that the last thing I saw about it was 2021. They're talking about maybe. So I don't feel very confident.
I don't know that I want to see Jamie Foxx in this whatsoever. But that said, I mean, I think if this movie this movie probably needed to just start off with Spawn already being fully Spawn and more just dropped into it, and maybe a little bit
Spawned
of flashbacks or whatever to what's going on, right? I don't know. I think they tried to get too big into the whole concept of the demon army versus, I don't know. Then again, I think that's how the animated show works. So maybe what I'm saying is just watch the animated series. You're probably gonna have a good time. Maybe that's really. I don't know what they could have done to make this movie any better, but it's rough. You know what they could have done better now? They at least probably wouldn't have had goddamn DJ Spooky on the soundtrack. Oh my god, what would they?
I don't know.
Probably,
I don't know.
Probably just Skrillex. Just nothing but fucking just your modem sounding like it's trying to stab you in the ear. That's for 5 hours, like an hour of that. Just why I hate this album. There you go. If y'all are listening again,
that's incredible.
We need to find a movie that has nothing but like Skrillex and
if it was like Dead Mouse, you'd be all in.
Okay, well, Dead Mouse is not dubstep. That's house. That's more fun.
Well, yeah, I'm saying it's electronic. What if the entire Spawn soundtrack for this next one, if it comes out, supposedly coming out with Jamie Foxx at some point, who knows? What if it was all done by Steve Aoki? How in are you on that one? You're speechless. That's how good it would be.
No, I think my ears just started bleeding. Like just
Spawn Aoki.
No, I'm hanging up. We're just.
Oh no! Or what if it was Zed's Dead? DED Dead. ZED. That's a good one too. That's you can get dubsteppy there if you want, or a little different electronic.
No.
What are you gonna do? Like that either?
No. Okay. No. What is no? It's probably gonna be like some like I don't even know what is. I'm trying to think what the worst possible thing I could think of that's like current. I don't know. You may be. you may be.
If you're talking about DJs that are doing stuff, I'm out. I'm out on that. So I don't. I unloaded all the chambers already. Does Fatboy Slim come back from the 90s? I can do that. Moby was here. Can we get Fatboy Slim to do the Moby sequel song?
It's just nothing but MGK for like 12 songs.
I don't
the
like
entire MGK album.
Yeah, I don't like that as much. All right. Well, that's Jesus. Okay. Yeah. That's where we come to.
Okay. What would you rather listen to, an MGK Spawn album or just John Leguizamo talking as the clown character for an hour straight?
How remixed is it?
You just have I will at least give you the guy that does the drops for Crazy Ira and the Douche on Parks and Rec.
Oh, now I'm in. Now I'm in
You're
a little
all in
bit.
on that.
if you do something
So
like
dumb.
Wynn's gonna show her a real good time. Me so horny. Like that would be probably more enjoyable than the dialogue we got here. That's the fact that I'm even debating that is not good.
No.
No.
Well,
No.
look. I mean, look, I think Jesus, let's just like the Violators neck. Let's get into the final cut.
Final cut.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did get a better end of the deal than we did. Because I'm just talking through this and it's so bad.
It's so bad. I don't know. I think ours was worse.
It might be. They might have gotten us. Damn it.
I think ours
Damn it. That's all I got.
I think they think theirs is worse, but ours is worse.
Yeah.
So we might have both lost, but I'm still.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
yeah.
Like, I think we all lost because I think they probably watched the movie as well, and we listened to the album. So it's not like one of us didn't get the full terrible experience. Like, we all listened and did both of them, even though we only talked about one. But
I listened to One Man Army not that long ago.
I mean, I'll just say the soundtrack at least is an hour, but the movie's an hour and a half. Just on that principle alone.
That's just two and a half hours of your life that I wish I could get back. I don't say that often, but like I could go back and do something with that time, right?
Probably watch another shit.
This is the guy who's
Hansel
like
and Gretel again. You bastard.
This is the guy who's watching like the director commentary for Troll 2, and I want my time back. That's not a good recommendation for this movie.
So Nate, what are you giving this movie? With that said,
so when the pizza had the worms on it, John Leguizamo ate those that were real, and then when he walked away, they had to do ADR, and then he threw up. So that's how I feel about this movie. But 3.5 out of 4 stars from Roger Ebert. So I'm going to split the difference and just go 3. I don't like it quite as much as Robert, even with a 10-point scale. So I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10.
What was he thrilled about this movie?
You loved it. 3.5 out of 4 stars is basically like an 8 out of 10. So you're welcome. I'll give it a 3. If I had to watch this or Halloween Ends, I would just probably turn the TV off. So
I would watch this a million times over than Halloween Ends.
Yeah, I'm less certain. I can't give it less than a 3.
Sure.
Because of the time period. I like some of the music. So I'll give it that. The costume is cool. Some of the CGI for the cape is very good now that I'm talking about it. And it's cartoonish in kind of a fun way in some of the action. So there's some positives there. But John Leguizamo is so grating and it's just kind of so stupid. Like we did End of Days and Queen of the Damned and American Werewolf in Paris. Similar-ish movies, time period wise, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, similar-ish. This is the worst of the 4 of those for me. Okay. So I'd rather watch Queen of the Damned than watch this probably.
Well, I mean,
I'm thinking about it.
Same as well, but
that's not great. So I probably top out at 3 then. Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can go higher or lower.
I can't remember what I gave Queen of the Damned, but I'm sure I gave it 6 or above. Like you gotta imagine.
You gave it a 4.
Did I really give it a 4? Oh, well
I gave it a 2. Retroactively, I think I like Queen of the Damned a little bit more.
Yeah, man. I was gonna give this a 4.
You and Lisa like that one a lot more than I did.
I was about to say, well, I was about to give this movie a 4. Okay, well, I hate to give it the same score, but the numbers have worked for it. I give this 3 out of 10 demon wings. Twins. No, this is real bad.
Oh, there's a twin. There's so many fart jokes, and none of them are good.
No,
the underwear he pulls out when he shows the skid marks is just gross.
The problem is, I don't think this movie had enough actual material to even like. It's an hour and a half. It's not that it feels rushed. It just feels like there's nothing really there. Like this movie could have easily been an hour and still covered all the same plot points at the same pacing and everything. There's nothing
In the beginning, and like the voiceover was like the clunkiest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Oh God, that voiceover.
That was bad. It was bad. It was real bad.
Let's just get you caught up. Well, if you know what, if you're even gonna do like, let's get you caught up on what the plot is. Like it tells you the plot, then just go ahead and give me full suit Spawn. Like I don't need the rest of the. You just told me what the hell the plan is.
That costs money, Mitch. I don't know what to tell you. That costs money. So, all right. So we're both at a 3. Wow. Okay. Last two movies haven't been great. Haven't been great score wise.
No. What is our next movie? I need to. Do I have something to look forward to, Nate?
We're still debating what it is.
Okay.
It is going to be a very recent movie, but it's between two. So
okay. All right. Is it something? Just tell me this. Is it something that I'm going to look forward to, Nate? I need some like hope in my life.
Promise.
That's unfortunate. All right. Well, check back next week to see if I'm going to just cry on. If it's going to be an hour of me just crying on an episode. Nate, where can they find us?
You can find us and all of your Spawn needs. I don't know. What's the Spawn need?
No, we don't.
We're in hell. We're in hell right now. Maybe we're.
Don't come looking for us for any Spawn needs. We're tapped out on Spawn needs. We're all no my Spawn.
Also, don't search that on the internet.
Yeah, that's
TX at TX Pod Massacre on Twitter, Texas Podcast Massacre everywhere else. Give us an email. textpodcastmassacre@gmail.com 346-246-3143 for some messages. We had messages last week. My mom was there. We had some nice fan from Dallas telling us about cool stuff. I mean, just call in. Super fun. We will riff on it if you call in, and we'll do your movie too. We got Becky on the list. Becky is there. Becky's not going anywhere. I'm excited for Becky. After watching these two movies, Becky is sounding quite good. Kevin James is the villain versus Martin Sheen is the villain in this one.
Is that the one where he's a Nazi?
Wait, what?
I think Becky is. I think he actually plays like a white supremacist or a Nazi. I think that's part of the.
No, is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
does that improve it or did I just deflate did your head just deflate like John Leguizamo's with the clown balloon thing in this one?
Oh my God.
Well, okay. Well,
my hands are in my head at this point.
You all just got to hear Nate just lose all hope and everything live.
I'm retracting that. But anyway, if you want to call in and balance that out, give us a call. 346-246-3143. And let us know. We got some recent released movies coming up. People seem to be liking the new releases, Mitch. And there's a ton of them that we're catching up with. Mm-hmm. So do that. And then listen to the Why I Hate This Album episode on the Spawn soundtrack as well. Coming out same time, same podcast player, same bat channel, whatever. And see who you think had it worse and let us know.
It was us. But yeah, no, we always enjoy this part of Halloween. I'm always amazed that we keep finding a movie. Some years I'm like, this is probably gonna be the last one because I can't imagine what other soundtrack.
They keep picking them.
Yeah,
they keep picking them.
Look, 1 year, the best crossover event will happen in which we will talk Repo the Genetic Opera, which Nate has successfully avoided for the better part of
I've seen it. I already watched
years.
it, unfortunately. Paris Hilton is incredible at that. She's the best actor in the movie. That's not hyperbole.
No. Please, someone 5-star review. I need to get this committed onto our schedule here. No, but we appreciate it. Yeah, really look forward to listening to the Why I Hate This Album podcast about this. Go check them out. Follow them on their Instagram, Twitter, everywhere else. Man, I think that'll wrap it up from all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre. Happy Halloween, and keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Good night.